Yes, sir. Welcome back to another Drop It Out film session. I'm with Drop It Out podcast, Molly Mo. We're here to break down that boy, Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker, now number 52 in your program for the Washington Commanders. What makes him special? What made Dan Quinn and Adam Peters fall in love with that linebacker, the second level player for Ohio State Buckeyes? We're about to get into it right now. We'll take a look at his strengths, where he can improve. But more importantly, this is Daronte Jones' biggest project to start out his tenure as defensive coordinator in the NFL. Don't take that as a negative connotation towards Sonny Styles. This is a big deal. And if Sonny Styles and his potential comes to fruition, Daronte Jones and his profile, hey, expect that to elevate. So let's get into it. Look at a few plays from Sonny Styles. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Chop down field session starts right now. If there's one thing that Sonny Styles plays with, when we look at the run game, is his strength on contact. When he gets engaged, I think that Sonny plays with a high level of explosiveness, and it stands out, right? Like in this moment though, you see him on the play side, right? And just being able to quickly slip that offensive lineman and get involved in the tackle and stonewall the running back. I think with Washington, what you'll notice from Sonny is like he has a variety of ways to slip tackles. Slip blocks. He can do it with quickness. His hands aren't super impressive, but he knows how to disengage with his arm length and get back into play. And then sometimes he'll just missile himself into alignment if that means stopping the running back. So here's a couple of examples, just going straight head up into that lineman. Now, granted, like being able to recognize the puller as a gift and a curse, we'll explain that later. And Sonny Styles in the run game, he has that downhill aggressive mentality. So like things of this nature is well within his toolbox to be able to plug gaps and be that play side linebacker where you can see him plug a hole and even get in the tackle, not just plug a hole and hope he has run support. He does the work. So when we talk about missiles, here's your boy. And I think one of the biggest indicators of how strong or forceful a player is, let's run it back one more time, is looking at how things go with the person that he's contacting, right? Is it a standstill or a stalemate? It may be, but who takes the jolt? Where does that lie? Is it on the defender or the ball carrier or the lineman or the person that's blocking? And I think that's a big deal, and people need to, like, that's one of your biggest indicators to see who's winning the engagement. You got to finish, but who's winning it? Another one, playing through your pads, I think is a big deal, and Sonny Styles does a good job just scraping over, right? And if you notice, let's kind of run this back one more time. Like, he is playing a little bit high. This guy, I think number 8, is super small, but I mean, that's where your functional strength takes over. And the dude didn't gain a yard. In that sense, you're talking about a person, I think he generally plays with good pad level when he's engaged. I mean, you're 6'5", you're doing the best you can. But at the same time, like, he's playing off of pure strength and explosive and athletic ability. But like most of his engagements in at least 2025, when you watch his tape, you see him controlling that engagement for the most part. He dictates it. Another example is where you see him in space now and not necessarily in the box towards that sideline. Good open field tackle, minimize the yard gain, and just overall being able to see that ability to get that ball carrier down. Another moment where we talk about athletic ability, right? Slipping, lineman, just being super quick, right? 72's climbing in a combo block situation on the backside of this zone run, right? But Sonny's just too quick for him. He's able to slip the lineman using just his foot speed and acceleration and bringing that ball carrier down, minimizing the gain again. Here's another moment where his athletic ability stands out. Like that backside pursuit, but also block disengagement, right? We're talking about a QB draw here, straight down the middle, that A gap. Now, granted, they probably picked up 7 Indiana, so it was a good run for Indiana. But this is a play made solely by Sonny Styles and just his ability from an athletic standpoint, but also being able to get off that block, right? Before we start getting into the pass game and what makes him stand out. Now, granted, let's take a look at like those certain situations. This is a good running back, number 4 for Miami. And I think Sonny does a great job disengaging from the block, right? There's consistency there. Get off the block. But now we're talking about a person who's off balanced here. And Sonny, like, he doesn't really have that square form, when he's head up on that running back. So now you're talking about a person who's off balance. And one thing that he's going to have to pay attention to as well, like, I would think majority of the running backs, if you're talking about comparing the quality that he'll be up against moving forward, 4 is a professional running back, right? Height, weight, speed, we're talking about frame. Like, you're going to go up against these guys more often than not. So seeing him miss that tackle is discouraging, but it's not the whole story, right? But it's one moment, and we're talking about a person who did half the job right, but you don't want to see him in the hole be a person who's consistently missing those tackles. Another example, same game, same running back. Want to see him bring that man down. And again, this is important because my point, we're talking about number 4, he's a professional running back. And you don't want to see those missed tackles in the gap. Those are big deals. You want to be able to see things like that moving forward where he can actually make the play. But let's show him some love in the run game against Miami, not just him missing some tackles, right? The athletic ability, but also processing, right? Understanding where he can shoot his gap, shoot the timing. You can see him seeing that jet sweep coming. I think those are the things. When you see a person who understands pre-snap movement, right, alignment, one of the things that you notice in these clips that I've shown already, but hadn't necessarily verbalized, Sonny does a lot of the dictating up front and throughout that second level. He tells the defenders, his teammates, where to go, how to align if they're not aligned properly, where they need to go. And ultimately, when you look at a second level player, that was Bobby Wagner for Washington. They don't have Bobby Wagner no more. And fans probably would have thought that Jordan McGee would have fit that role, but they got somebody drastically better than Jordan McGee, and somebody who can easily grasp that green dot player, right? So having that speed, that athletic ability on that second level, but somebody who can also control that first and second level and communicate with that third level as well. These are the outcomes that you get when you have a person who really understands what's going on from the offensive standpoint, but knows when to take his chances. All right, let's start with his coverage ability now, or pass game. We're going to start with the blitzing, and then we'll get to his coverage ability. And for Sonny, we're talking about a person who's lined up in the slot right now. He's over Kadarius Toney. That's not his name. Those that know me, I am the king of messing up a name. But the superstar freshman from Miami is lined up in the slot. And what I like about Sonny in this situation, at the top of your screen, is just his ability to hold that water and penetrate the backfield, right? Like, think about the depth in which he's coming from. Like, he's not coming from the traditional edge or even that second level, right? Like, this is a person that's aligned in the slot and just pure on snap, just going and getting it. Good job breaking down. He's not out of control as he approaches the quarterback, right? It allows him to get a hand on him. I don't know if they credit him as for a sack with this one. I don't think they did. Maybe just like a loss, like a no gain situation. So in essence, he could have got that sack, but it's not his fault that he didn't get it. Beck did a good job climbing up, got no gain. But you see where he's coming from, but also his athletic ability and just being able to hide his intention. Hold your water. That's a big deal. You don't want to give that away. And he did a good job. Like, his athletic ability is going to get him to the quarterback just as long as he stays patient and things of that nature. So let's start from here, and you can just see like all of the traffic that he's trying to maneuver, but then like your eyes on the quarterback indicates that you are in that spy situation, right? But he has that change of direction, the foot quickness. I think all of those, like those athletic traits, pop in this one. Like, this isn't the best clip to show it, but you can see it, right? Like, it's a lot of traffic going forward. He has the feel for those crossers. That's a big deal. But also like the closing speed that he has on the quarterback to really dead the play. He didn't get a tackle on it, but you saw how quickly he closed that space. So now in the form of actual coverage, you'll see his athletic ability too. And forcing a honey hole situation right now. This ain't necessarily covered too, but you can see like the depth in which he gains You're playing kind of that curlish area. Like he's not hooking, but he's closer towards the sideline. He's not playing that flat either, right? He just goes straight to number 10 and forces like a tough window if Beck was to take that chance. But you see like his hip fluidity, his athletic ability to stay underneath, right? And I think like if you can see Sonny develop in terms of how quickly he can process and like he knows where to go defensively in the pass game, which I tend to lean that I trust him in those situations. I think if you can consistently get him in coverage where like he knows where he's going and his eyes and his discipline are on point, like that's what will make him dangerous in the pass game and make him like an all-around defender. I think he's really good against the run and he's solid with the pass game, but I think he could be much better in the pass game as well. I think he can get there, but we'll see. Now we're talking about a situation where we speak on like cover 2 and his ability to pick up defenders. And what's really good here is more so like his route recognition, but being able to have like that eye, like that spatial awareness, knowing where the nearest route runner is, picking up and carrying, right? So you see Sonny in the middle. And once he recognizes Archman's intentions, right, he's able to find that receiver that's over the middle of the field and give his safeties some help when the middle of the field is open. The athletic ability to cover. I mean, now, granted, he didn't have to do too much. Didn't look like he did too much, but he effectively shut down that option. And I think that's kind of the bigger point that we're making here, right? Is you don't want to like see a person not be able to get to the space that he's trying to get to. Same situation here, which I thought was really good. Like his back is completely towards that receiver that's carrying over in the middle. Again, when the middle of the field is open, that's where the walling and the robot techniques, basically being able to find that slot or that seam runner and have a linebacker that's athletic and fast enough to run with that slot or seam runner. Typically you'll get your tight ends there, but you have opportunities where NFL receivers who are fast and have elite speed, they'll work that seam too. Like think of De'Ami Brown for Washington, I guess, in that aspect. Chigo Conko is going to be running seam routes like and be effective with it. So those are the kind of different type of athletes that you'll see running that middle of the field. And you have a linebacker in Sonny Styles who can run with both of them. So that's going to wrap it up for this film session. We kind of explained several different areas of his game, right? But overall, let's start with the positives. This is an explosive player with position versatility in the more serious sense. We've heard that several years with this current regime and the previous regimes, but this is a person who displays it in the best of ways, but not necessarily changing positions. This is a person who can literally line up on your edge, strong side, backside, weak side. He can line up in the slot. I think for Sonny Styles, when you want to know like what he can do for your team, this is where Daronte Jones and his legacy begins. And that's why we talk about Sonny Styles being a project. And it's not a project in a negative sense. It's like, how can Daronte Jones, a first-time coordinator, create a defense, a dominant defense with a rookie, right? As a rookie coordinator, and how does it all come along? This is your chess piece. This is the person that you are going to use to dictate terms. And I think from an athletic ability standpoint, he's there. He can do all of the coverage that you need for a linebacker. I mean, this is a former safety, right? So like he has the range, and being able to put him on the second level allows him to play sideline to sideline, right? He can play all three levels. And I think that's what makes him dangerous. The eye discipline part, it's noticeable. You don't know like when it'll be fixed. Like maybe if a game slows down, that's one thing, but he plays at such a fast pace. That's what gets him moving and gets him out of position. Does it get fixed? I'm not too sure. It's certain things that you have to live and die with certain players. And maybe it does get better. And maybe it's not necessarily a week to week thing. Maybe it's something that, you know, he ultimately can control on his own and ultimately become a better player over time. The missed tackles is something that isn't too concerning, but you know, you look at his previous seasons, it was an issue. This year, it wasn't too big of an issue, but you want him to make sure, like, when you go up against that higher level talent, such as that Miami running back that we just discussed, you want to see him be able to be more under control, but also bring the ball carrier down. Can't do half of the job. You got to do the full job on the play. So we'll see as that comes along as well. But for the most part, this is an explosive player who understands how to bring the boom. He can go through so many different players. First, skill positions, tight ends, offensive linemen. He understands how to scrape over, but also like meet the pullers and the runners in the hole. And I think for Washington, when you have a defender who is athletically gifted, but also physically gifted from a strength standpoint, it creates that difference. So we'll see how Daronte Jones can mold Sonny Styles as an NFL defender in his system. And that wraps it up for us. I hope you got to see what he does good, what he doesn't, or what I think he doesn't just yet. And until next time, so hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That's gonna wrap it up for us. Peace.